everyone, welcome to the May edition of the Ant Fitness video newsletter. As you can see by the tree behind me, autumn is in full swing. In fact, it's the last month of autumn. Can you believe it? I only realised the other day, we're actually less than a month away from the start of winter. And it got me thinking, what is your favourite season? Do you have a favourite? What do you like and dislike about each of the 4 seasons? And let's be honest, these days, they're not as distinct as they used to be, where you had 3 months of autumn, you had 3 months of winter, you had 3 months of spring, and you had 3 hot months of summer. These days it interchanges, it blends in, it merges in. You get hot days in autumn. We have had some really hot days in autumn. You get really cold days in summer. But what is your favourite season? Now for me, and those who know me, I love the heat. I love summer. I'm not a big winter fan, but when I sit down to think about it, it's got some positives. But let's start with my favourite season, summer. You can't beat the blue sky, similar to what we've got now. You can't beat the sunshine, the warmth, the shorts, the t-shirt, the singlet even. I love it. And the long days of sunlight with daylight saving, of course. And then I'm going to move back through the year. Spring. Now I love spring because spring offers the promise of the longer days of summer that are to come. It offers the bright colours of the wattle trees, the smell, the birds are happy except the magpies and the plovers. That's one thing I don't like about spring. Then we go into winter. Now winter, I think of the cold and the grey, and yes, I don't like it, but winter does offer myself and everyone, but myself particularly when I go trail running and I have my fear of snakes, winter offers the time of year where I can relax a little bit more out there on the trails and enjoy the beauty of it, rather than running along looking at every twig, every step, every noise on the side and jumping and screaming. Let's be honest, I scream. So winter does offer me that. I get the reprieve from the snakes. You just got to put a few more layers on, obviously. And then of course we've got autumn where we are right now. And when you've got colours like this all around you, you can't really complain. It's a beautiful time of year. The magpies aren't swooping. The plovers aren't swooping. The snakes are starting to go into hibernation. I'm seeing a couple, but they're going into hibernation. And the days are pleasant. The majority of the days are pleasant. Summer's still my favourite, but I can find something to like about all the other seasons. What about you? Send me a message either on Instagram or Facebook or via text and let me know what your favourite season is, and even the ones you don't like. And as we head into the colder months, let's look at the positives in it. Let's look at there's less chance of snake sightings. Put an extra layer on and get outside still and enjoy the great outdoors this winter. Look forward to sharing it with you, either online or in person in the great outdoors or at the Ant Nest. Enjoy the newsletter, everyone. I'll see you at the end. Hey everyone, welcome to our exercise spotlight for May. This month we're focusing on the arms. We're going to do 3 exercises. One, we're focusing on the biceps. The second one's going to focus on the lower part of the arm, the forearm, and then of course the back of the arm, the triceps. We won't neglect that as well, to offer some definition, some shape to the arms. Now, what you need is a set of handheld weights. I've brought my dumbbells from the Ant Nest out with me. We're above the mill pond today. You can see the mill pond at the foundations here in the background. Beautiful autumn day too. How stunning is it? If you don't have dumbbells to use, don't worry. Look around the house. You will find something that you can hold in your hands. You can use cans from the cupboard, baked beans, soup, bottles of water, bricks from the garden, or even rocks. Whatever you can find. And obviously, ideally we want something that when we're doing the reps, now I'm going to take you through sets of 10 today. You might prefer to add a few extra reps on depending on the weight you're holding, because ideally we want the last 2 to 3 reps to be difficult. We don't lose our technique or form, but they should be a challenge like, am I going to get there? Yes, I am. It shouldn't just be pumping away. So If you can get something from around the house that offers that bit of resistance, excellent. If you can't, we'll add a few extra reps on, or we can do an extra couple of sets to make it more difficult towards the end of the workout. Okay, enough chit chat, let's get into it. Picking up the weights for our first exercise. Now we're going to do them one after the other as well, circuit style, to increase that fatigue and arm burn. Okay, bicep curls, even stance, feet directly below the shoulders. Nice and tall. We don't want to be leaning back here, especially as we're curling it up. We want to keep ourselves nice and straight. So we're going to activate the core, pull the belly button in towards the spine. Palms are facing forward, elbows tucked in by our side, and that's where they'll remain. We keep the upper arm still as we bend at the elbow, pulling the weights up to the shoulders and then lowering back down all the way so your arm's straight. Weights to the legs, up we go again. For 2, remember we're doing 10 of them. 3, 4, 5. Nice controlled movement, don't rush it. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I want you to keep the elbows tucked into the side exactly where they are and flip the palms over. So the palms are now facing in towards the body. And we're going to do the reverse curl. Again, all the way up to the shoulders, down to the legs for 1, 2. Still working the biceps in the upper arm region, but also now bringing the forearm muscles into it. Is that 3? We're going to count it as 3, even if it was 4. That is 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's our reverse curls. Now we're going to target the triceps at the upper back of the arm. So you can either use one weight, again, depending how heavy the weight is that you're using, you can have one weight and we're going to hold it with 2 hands. We keep the upper arm still and then we bend at the elbow, lowering behind the head, and then we extend all the way up. 2, again, controlled movement. 3, 4, so the upper arms aren't moving, we're isolating the triceps. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Resting it down. So that is one set of our circuit. I'm going to go through another set with you and just point out a few different things, especially with that overhead tricep extension. Let's go again. So we go back to the beginning. After a 30-second rest, we'll start. And so we're doing bicep curls first. So feet shoulder width apart. Now, as you're doing the action of pulling it up or curling it up towards the shoulders, I want you to focus on squeezing that muscle. Similar to when you're squeezing out your kitchen sponge or you're washing the car, you squeeze it out. Focus on squeezing that muscle as you curl it up for me. Okay, let's go. Controlled action. All the way up, remember? For 1, we're keeping ourselves nice and straight. 2, we're not swinging. 3, elbows are tucked in to the side. 4, squeeze that muscle as we bring it up. 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should be getting harder now. 9. If it's not, I want you to do another 5 reps for me. So that's 10. Do another 5 and go through to 15. Trying to get that fatigue building in the upper arms. Next, we're going to go to the reverse curls. So remember targeting the forearm here. The biceps still working, so we're continuing that fatigue in the upper arm. Elbows are tucked in to the side. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Try and keep those palms facing down. They'll curl a little bit. We don't want them curling out. Okay, so we've got the overhead tricep extension now. So before I did the one weight between the 2 hands, lowering behind the head and back up. This time, again, to make it harder if you can, if you've got a lighter weight, go a weight in each hand. Now you've got to be more focused on the upper arm here that we're not swinging it. We want to keep it nice and still as we lower it behind the head. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, full extension above, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, resting them down. That's 2 sets complete. I remember back in the early days of Ant Fitness, we used to do what we called the A class, arms and abs. And most classes we'd finish with these 3 exercises because it gave an excellent burn, especially one after the other, especially if you do 15 reps of them. And we do 3 sets. We've done 2 today, and I'm going to leave you there. I want you to do another set, and if you're still not feeling that fatigue building by the second last rep, do a 4th set for me. Now ideally, I'd be doing these exercises 3 times a week. 3 times a week, and each time 3 to 4 sets. Again, just depending on the weight you're using, ideally 10 to 12 reps. Okay everyone, we know physical exercise is important, but just as important is our brain exercises. And this is a popular part of our hard copy newsletter. So here you go, 2 exercises for you. The first one, the popular unjumble. Can you unscramble the letters to form a word? See how you go. The second one, guess the name of the class. Everyone, welcome inside the Ant Nest. At Ant Fitness, I'm more than being about personal training, exercise and fitness. I'm about changing people's lives, and I get the opportunity to do that in many different ways. I'm truly grateful for that opportunity. In May, I want to give back a little bit. I want to give to 4 charities that are close to my heart. These 4 charities are part of my Running with Heart mission. When I do my training, my events, I like to do it for a charity, and these 4 charities are close to my heart because I know people touched by these charities. And we're talking about the Heart Foundation, the Cancer Council, Type 1 Diabetes and Anxiety. Mind Sport is my charity for anxiety. So during May, I'm going to donate $1 for every group training session visit to one of those charities. And you as a participant of that group training session get to pick where that dollar goes. Whether it be the Heart Foundation, the Cancer Council, Type 1 Diabetes, or Mind Spot for anxiety. When you come in, I'll give you a bottle cap, and you simply place it in your chosen charity, and at the end of the month, Ant Fitness will donate $1 from every visit. So add up how many bottle top lids we have in there. We'll donate that to that charity. Heart Foundation, Cancer Council, Type 1 Diabetes, and Mind Spot for anxiety and mental health. Everyone, thanks for supporting Ant Fitness. Thank you for supporting the charities close to my heart. And I'll see you here in the Ant Nest during May. It also includes participants on Zoom. If you zoom in, I'll ask you where you'd like the $1 from your visit. I'm donating it, not yourself. It's coming from Ant Fitness, but you get to pick where the $1 goes. Everyone, this month group training session focus is on our weekly walking group. Did you know Ant Fitness has a weekly walking group? It's for the people of Portland and the surrounding communities to come together and walk and explore the trails inside the foundations. We meet 10 a.m. every Wednesday at the Ant Nest. Now the Ant Nest, if you're not sure where the Ant Nest is, it's inside the foundations, the old Portland Cement Works. You go in the main gates, and we're in the old boiler house, which is the building that is directly below the old chimney stack. And double doors, the Ant Fitness banner is out the front. You cannot miss it once you come inside. And we go for a 40 to 45 minute walk each week. And as I said, we explore the trails at the foundations. I've actually come here to the shores of Limestone Lake, which we've done. There's different trails around here. I don't know if you can see over in the background, there's different levels. There's different trails on each of those levels. And I've come here particularly to record this today on the shores of Limestone Lake and this location to share a story with you from one of our earlier walking groups last year. It was possibly the first one of spring. And we're walking along here, heading down that way. And being the trainer, the leader of the group, I go first, particularly on the warmer days, like today, as I look around. I'm on snake watch alert. It's my job to protect you, so I'm looking for the snakes. Anyway, I was in conversation with someone, and I know that's a surprise. I was probably about 50, maybe not 50 metres, 20 metres down that way, talking away, and some of the group were back here, and they yelled out to me, "Andrew, you've gone past some wildlife." And I turned around, and I'm like, "It's not a snake, is it?" And so I came back, and over on the edge of the shore, edge of the water, was a red-bellied black snake. It moved. It had two heads. It was two snakes, one on top of the other. Forget what they were doing. It was two snakes sunbaking right here on the edge of the limestone lake. And I don't blame them for that, really. Like, check it out. If you could lie here in the sun all day, wouldn't you? Anyway, they moved off, went on their way. We took photos from a distance. You never approach a snake. You never go near a snake. We took photos from a distance, and then we continued on our way. And that's the thing with the walking group. We see amazing things every week. We see the beautiful wildlife that's in here, mainly the kangaroos. We've also get to see some of the historic locations inside the foundations that aren't open to the public. We get to see the limestone plant, and up close to the kilns, we get to see the amazing views over the lakes. So we've got Limestone Lake here. We've been up on top over there. Down at Twin Lakes. We read Twin Lakes this morning, actually, down the far end, the western end of the foundation site. And because we haven't had a lot of rain lately, after all the rain last year, the water's actually receding, and we're actually able to go on a trail that we haven't been on before. And we're actually able to see straight, the water is so crystal clear, into the water, and we could see what looks like the remnants of an old vehicle that's been tossed in. You could see two wheels at either end and possible axle, but it looked like it was upside down. It was covered in with dirt and what have you, and plants to grow in the water. But yeah, it was right there just inside the shoreline. We get to explore some of the pine forests up the top there. But it's a wonderful time, and it's not all about the exercise, it's also about the social aspect. We have many a conversation on many a topic. I don't know if there's anything we have not touched in our conversations, but it's a great chance to come and meet new people, bring friends along, but yeah, have a walk, have a talk. It's not a fast pace. You don't have to have a high level of fitness. It's all about just being outside with each other, talking and walking and being active. So consider it. Joining us at the Ant Fitness Walking Group every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. You don't have to come every Wednesday. Come when you're available and enjoy it. $5 concession, $10 for a full paying adult. And we meet at 10 a.m. at the Ant Nest. Remember, it's inside the old boiler house. Look for the big chimney stack. We're right below it. You won't miss it. And come and enjoy the great outdoors. Everyone, I want to talk to you about the City to Surf weekend, which is fast approaching. It's actually just over 90 days on the day of recording today till City to Surf. It's just on 3 months. 3 months to City to Surf. It's so exciting. I want to invite you to come and join the Ant Fitness Portland Hillbillies for a weekend of super fun at the City to Surf. We're making an experience that you'll talk about and remember forever. Day 1, Saturday, we're going to have an amazing adventure city edition. Now, those who might not be familiar with the amazing adventure that we hold here at Ant Fitness in Portland, you have clues, and you've got to find the answers to those clues around the main street of Portland usually. 2-block radius. Put that on the city edition scale, and you're going to be in the middle of the heart of Sydney looking for various things. It might be have your photo taken halfway across the harbour bridge. Won't be on top of the harbour bridge, halfway across the harbour bridge. It might be have your photo taken with a ferry in the background. It might be find the statue of Matthew Flinders. Could be any of these. What about Mrs. Macquarie's chair? It could be in there as well. It's going to be a fun couple of hours Saturday, and then Saturday evening as a group we'll go out and have some fun. Not on the town, but either maybe some 10-pin bowling, some laser tag, some putt-putt golf. We'll see when we get down there, and we'll see how many we've got. And then the big one on the Sunday, race day, City to Surf, the famous, iconic City to Surf from Hyde Park in the middle of Sydney, 14 kilometres to Bondi Beach. And this year, whether you're a walker or a runner, whether you're in it for fun, whether you're in it for a PB, City to Surf bingo. Who is going to take home the prize when we combine the points together of amazing adventure on the Saturday, City to Surf bingo on the Sunday? How does Sit or Surf Bingo work? You'll have a list of things that you need to either achieve or take photos of on your journey from Hyde Park to Bondi Beach. Some examples: can you get a photo of a celebrity? More points if you can get a photo of a celebrity and you're in it. Can you get a photo of the Harbour Bridge? Can you get a photo of yourself standing on the sand of Bondi Beach? And maybe there'll be more points on offer if you actually get in the water. I reckon it'll be as cold as this, maybe not. Going to be lots of fun, different points on offer. You go as serious as you want with the bingo and as serious as you want with Sit or Surf 14 kilometres. And then after we've all completed and crossed that famous finish line on the shores, on the boardwalk at Bondi Beach, we're going to celebrate our achievements for lunch, with lunch at Bondi Junction in the famous food court there, and we'll announce the winners of the Sit or Surf Experience weekend. Any questions at all, please contact me, whether it be in person, via text, email, DM or PM on the socials, and I'll give you the details. We've also got accommodation pre-booked for anyone who needs accommodation. You don't have to stay with us. You can make your own way, make your own arrangements, and just join in the activities on the Saturday, and of course the race on the Sunday as well. But it is going to be one experience you don't want to miss out on. So make sure you get in, book your spot at our amazing adventure, get your entry to Sit or Surf, and let's have a fun weekend as the Hillbillies take to the town of Sydney. Hillbilly wise too, I've got to mention, in May we are starting our Monday night Hillbilly sessions once more, all in preparation for Sit or Surf. So 6:45 Mondays we meet at the Ant Nest. We're going to be running mainly on the streets of Portland to get used to the pounding of the pavement when we hit the city. But we'll also do some stuff on the trails. A head torch, flashlight, and high vis is needed. We do have some available if you don't have your own. But come along 6:45 Mondays and prepare yourself for Sit or Surf. Everyone, it's time for Joke of the Month, and I know for the first two video newsletters I've given you some maybe not pearlers. Okay, they've been pretty sad ant jokes, but this one is top of the list. In your ARIA music charts, this one is heading to #1 with a bullet. I guarantee you'll want to share this with the first person you see. I was actually out walking the other day in the bush, very much like this location actually. I'm walking along the trail and there's these ants crossing it, and they were big ants, like I'm talking big, and they all stood there and blocked the path, and I'm like, let me through, I just want to get down the trail, I want to continue on my run. And they stood there, and I saw the look in their eyes, and they stared at me all in one. You could picture them almost holding arms together like, we are not moving. I'm like, come on, I just want to. And either way I went, they just blocked the path, and I'm like, what sort of ants are these? And then I realized they were defiant. Everyone, that brings us to the end of the May edition of the video newsletter. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the segments. Now, if you've got any questions at all about anything you've seen today on the Ant Fitness newsletter, please contact me. Maybe it's to inquire about the Sit or Surf Experience weekend with the Hillbillies, or to register for it. The socials, Instagram and Facebook, are exactly the same handle, at antfitness.au. You can also email me if you wish. It's there as well. antnest05@gmail.com, or of course you can check out the website www.antfitness.com.au. If you're following us on the socials or you're checking out the website regularly, you're going to be up to date with everything that is Ant Fitness and is happening at Ant Fitness, so make sure you're doing that. Before I go, best wishes and sending lots of happiness to all the mums out there and people in the role of mum. I wish you a very happy Mother's Day. I hope it's relaxing. I hope it's pleasant and enjoyable. And I hope you get to spend some time, just a little bit, being active in the great outdoors. Maybe it's by the water, in the beautiful Australian bush, the local park, or maybe in your own backyard. Wherever you spend it, please have a lovely, happy Mother's Day. And to everyone, until I see you either online, on Zoom at our group training sessions, or in person at the Ant Nest, make sure, as always, you be active. See everyone.